my god.
Today we are here with
I'm here with Derek
Swaggy
Rose,
T.
Swaggy T, and Alonzo Mourning.
Yes, sir.
Alonzo
Yes,
Mourning.
sir.
This man really has Swaggy T on the back of his jersey. Turn around for the folks.
For the folks.
Give him one.
For the folks.
My leg.
Give him one. Swaggy T.
Yo, hey, keep going.
What a guy. What a guy.
Nice. What a jersey.
Oh,
what a
right.
jersey.
Oh my God. Look
Full
at these
360.
ripped jeans
So
and the
cut it,
muscular.
right.
All right,
Stuff with Alonzo mush,
I
oh my
feel like
God.
we're just gonna start with that, right?
All right.
Yes,
I think we're just
definitely,
running it.
100%.
Oh, you wanna lead
Let's
us?
do it. Nope, not me. I'm sorry.
All right, guys. So today, sticking with the theme of sports, we're talking about Desi representation, specifically Desi representation in sports and media. Alhamdulillah, I think there's a lot of Muslims in sports lately, for sure. Like just off converts. You got Derek Rose, Kyrie. Did you guys see the DeMar DeRozan thing too lately?
Derek
Derrick
Rose didn't
Rose
like come
confirmed?
out saying that he's Muslim, but he's been saying Allah.
Bro,
like,
I don't
every
know
other
if
day.
he is.
Something
I
like that.
DM'd him and he never got back to me, actually.
Bro, how?
I
And
said-
you have his jersey.
I'd like to see the DM.
I promise. I'll show you right now. Bro.
You don't DM
So what
anyone,
did you
bro.
say?
We're gonna
What did
DM
you-
Derek
what did you
Rose.
say?
You think I don't make this stuff up,
What
bro.
did you say though?
Yeah, yo, D Rose. So you
How did it
Muslim or what?
start? Like,
I
how
saw
did
the
you address
post.
him?
I saw the post
Mr. Rose.
and I
Mr.
was
Rose.
intrigued.
Dear Mr. Rose.
I gotta-
All right,
You
wait.
started with-
While
right, man, all right.
while he
Introduction?
scrolls with his DM, bro.
I know you sent a lot of emails. Like, was there no formal
Here it is.
introduction?
Salam, brother Derek. Are you Muslim now? And then I waited 3 days, no response.
So you hit him.
So I was like, just checking in. So Muslim or no? And still no response. So
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if I don't believe him.
You know when
honestly.
you know when like a new place opens, you're like Zabiha or not, and you just
Yeah.
asking them. That's mine. It's like so Zabiha or no.
Muslim or not?
That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing with like DeMar DeRozan. He had that one post recently, and everyone's like maybe not.
Kyrie.
How recently?
Kyrie.
Kyrie.
3 days ago, he posted a picture of himself in black and white saying "Assalamu alaikum."
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
saw that. I think
but-
he is actually Muslim though.
I don't know, but even like people like Lil Durk apparently is Muslim. So
Yeah,
you
he
have
is.
people in media
Shout out
and in
to Durk.
Kevin
sports.
Gates.
Steven Jackson.
Steven
Steven
Jackson.
Jackson.
Well, Steven
Ken-
Jackson,
Ken
like
Dar
Dar
Salam,
Salam,
Yeah.
yeah.
So a lot of people, right? But I don't think you specifically have Desi people, and I think that is an issue that leads to a bigger conversation about role models, right? For the younger generation, even for our generation, like when you grow up and you got to look for someone to look up to outside of like your immediate circle, your friends, your family, you're probably looking at celebrities, right? There's not a lot of celebrities that look like us. The ones I can name off the top of my head are like Hassan Minhaj.
Yep.
Y'all got like Adam Amin
Hassan
recently.
Minhaj, Adam Amin.
Honestly,
Was that one guy,
Hassan-
Rocker?
Kumar
MLB
Rocker.
Yeah, Kumar Rocker. And MLB.
Oh, yeah.
He got drafted in the first round.
Right.
He was like 9th or 10th overall this year out of Vandy. Didn't sign his contract, so he's going back in the draft next year. But
Wow.
it's kind of crazy because like the MLB's been around for so long, and that's the first time an Indian person's been drafted.
Wow.
And then most recently, today, Ranveer Singh with the
Ranveer
NBA.
Singh
is now
NBA India
representing.
ambassador.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Represent.
Represent Bollywood's finest.
So I was gonna say like
He did that for the check, bro. just putting it out there. I don't think this man.
Bro,
knows anything about
those
the NBA.
low-key are pretty swaggy fit.
No,
That
no.
was something you would wear. I thought it was pretty
Stop.
dope.
Don't tell me what I wear. I'm not wearing that.
It was
It
straight
is,
out of
dog.
Swaggy,
It
Jay-Z's
is.
closet, whatever you want to say,
Disrespect
bro.
to me, dog.
Same
I'm
thing.
not
bro.
wearing
VOP.
Straight out of
I'm
Maz's
I'm not
closet.
wearing
What?
a matching tracksuit with a bunch of NBA teams on it. I'm just
it's
not
kind of
doing
sick.
that.
I'm not.
I thought it was pretty
I
raw,
thought it was
not gonna
pretty
lie.
raw.
Nah, bro, I'm not a fan.
You're a little outvoted on this, but no.
That's
all
all
right. So
good.
wrapping
I'm
around,
not with
right?
it.
I think a good place to start this convo is like what Muslims did we have growing up to look up to? Because when I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking like Fousey Tube, like Adam Sandler, and that's not like a good example. You
Naughty,
know?
naughty.
What about
Yeah.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Abdul Rauf?
I don't. We weren't.
I
Okay, I
mean,
know that's
like,
not our time.
up.
Okay, that's not our time. That's not
Those
our
are
time.
Ali.
also-
Well, like,
Muhammad
that's
Ali,
before.
right? Like
Those are also like not Desi specifically.
Yeah, they're
mean,
black,
yeah,
Muslims,
right?
that's true.
So
we had Robbie from Jesse.
But you,
like,
no, you're
Abdul
gonna tell me
Rauf-
Fousey Tube was Desi, bro?
You know, I'm saying he's no. I'm gonna say no, but I'm saying that's even worse, right? I can't think of a person who's Pakistani, Indian, whatever. That
Zayd Ali T. But he was not like. But that's the
I
guy.
don't even know. Who
I
that
feel like
is.
all those
You don't know
guys
who
also
that
have
is? You don't know
like
Zayd Ali T?
scandals around them now, right?
Straight
Like, they all
Do you
have-
know Zayd Ali T?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just
yeah,
Rain.
you mentioned Hassan Minhaj, right? But
Just Rain.
and Hassan,
yeah,
oh
Just
yeah,
Rain.
Just Rain. That was
Just
But he's not
Rain.
Muslim though.
He's
But I mean,
not
yeah.
Muslim.
Yeah,
But Hassan Minhaj, that he's still like relatively new, like
yeah.
3-4 years,
That's what I'm
right?
saying.
So yeah,
as
I
are
get the point.
as are Adam Amin and like Shams and like
I don't know who
else?
Adam Amin is.
Dude, the
Mo Amer,
Bears,
the comedian, right?
The
Oh, but he's not this,
Bears,
he's Arab.
Who?
if you
Mo
watch
Amer?
the Bears
Oh.
games on Fox, he's the commentator. He's the color commentary.
Color
Is he
comment?
that,
Oh
like-
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You get a play-by-play.
Oh, no,
you get a
Adam
color.
Amin.
Is he?
Yeah, Adam
Yeah.
Amin.
He's not that popping though. If, like, he's
Nah,
just a
bro,
Bears
but you know what? As a Bears
commentator.
fan, when we're sorry, he's the voice I hear. So
What's the defensive coordinator's name?
yeah, Nazish's long-lost uncle Sean.
Sean
Sean
Desai.
Desai.
baby.
Umama's third cousin Adam.
I mean,
my cousin.
But hey, on that note, I wanted to ask, like, do you guys feel like representation is important though, right? Because I feel like lately a lot of representation has come out to be like it's a buzzword, right? Like I want to be represented. To me, I feel like representation is important to an extent, but I feel like in this situation it's important because you have no one to look up to. What's your take on it? Do you feel like representation important, not important, necessary to an extent? Like, what's the deal on that?
I think we're like the only. I might just be thinking, but like not thinking as much. But I think we're like the only people that don't really have that much representation compared to every other community. Like, I won't even go like regular Asian, African American, Hispanic. Everyone has. I think we have the most lack of people to look up to in like media, unfortunately, and that's sad. But I think it is important. It's just dope to look up to somebody, and go off of that. But we don't have it.
I think we have it in like other industries. Like we have it in like medicine, we have it in engineering, technology, business, right? But we don't have it in media
What do
per
you do?
se.
Yeah, media.
I mean, yeah, there's something like doctors. How many Desi doctors do you know that are Muslim? Tons.
So
How many
every
Desi
other person-
accountants do you know that are Muslim?
A lot of farmers.
Right. And the thing is, like, I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of other cultures that don't have that in those fields, right?
Yeah.
But then they have it in media. So it's like vice versa for us. But then, like, I guess as like growing up, you don't really have people to look up to in media, right? So that can't really be a normal career path because you don't really have a path to follow. You don't know how to break in. Usually, like, I mean, alhamdulillah, I think we're all blessed where we had like family members or people that could help us out or show us the way. I guess for
but still,
careers that are
even,
not media
even with
related.
that though, like, you think, I mean, like maybe for you it might be easier, like second gen
gen.
parent wise, but like you think any of us can go up to
Yo.
our parents and be like, hey, I want to be
Yeah.
I want to be a sports
Dude,
broadcaster. That's what I want to do for my career.
When
like,
we were wrapping up high school, right? It's like Tamor and I, like we did DECO, right? And I did sports marketing so often that I was like, oh, this is what I want to do for a field. And I told my dad, I'm like, yes, I'm gonna go to DePaul. This is what I'm gonna do. He's like, what are you gonna do? And we just sat in that whole convo. Like first off, like like does it do well? And you don't even know if it does well or if it's a lucrative job until you're in the industry. But there's not that many brown people in the industry to be honest. That's not
I
common
mean, not even
knowledge.
just brown people, but like just in general. Like I literally saw the stat today. Like it was on ESPN. It was like released a week ago. So it was literally
You saw it.
79% of sports editors are white.
Yeah, journalists.
72% of assistant sports editors are white.
Journalists.
77% of columnists are white. 77% of reporters are white, and then 77% of copy editors are also white. So all these people that kind of work, like with ESPN or whatever, and then like again, the rest of that is made up between like African Americans, Hispanics,
Yeah.
and Asians, right?
I think it's kind of funny that ESPN's releasing diversity stats though. I did not expect you to say that.
I know. I came across it today. When I was like kind of looking through like different stuff, and I was like, it was just shocking because I was like, man, like that's crazy to me.
Systemically, it makes sense though. If you think
Yeah,
about it,
I
it
mean,
makes
yeah,
sense. Like
but-
in order to even like break in or go for a
You
career
need
path
someone.
like that, you need to have some kind of family of money or something like that, some kind of support, right?
Yeah.
It's a very unconventional journey, even for white people. Like to be honest.
And I think that's where it hurts though, right? When you want to have like that unconventional career path or you want to have something to look up to. Like I don't know about you, but at networking events, like if I'm going to a networking event where I don't know anyone, the easiest people to talk to are people that look like me because
Yes.
I don't need to find common interests.
Yes.
I can find a common interest with you just by looking at you.
Yep.
But if it was, if it was somebody else of a different race or ethnicity, I have to kind of dig to find that common interest and find a conversation that we could have.
And even through jobs, like even when you're like at the actual job itself, right? People that you kind of naturally gravitate towards are people that either look like you or like culturally like same religion, whatever it is, and that's people that you kind of get close to, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean it's crazy, but it's the world we live in, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is like, I think you need one person to break into the industry for you to say like, yeah, this is something possible, right? Like when you see some kid is definitely watching Adam Amin or Sean Desai as Fields getting sacked 20 times and thinking that's something I could do.
Yeah.
Like that's my thing at the end of the day. If you can see someone that does it that looks like you, that gives you hope that that's something that I could do. I think you just need someone to give you that hope. That's why I think that representation idea is so strong. And that's why this podcast isn't focused on Muslim representation, right? There's so many Muslims at home that are doing so many great things across media, sports, business, medicine, whatever. It's just not there in like the media field for Desi in particular.
And to clarify, when we say Desi, we're talking about like South Asian people, 'cause that's not a very common term either.
Yeah.
Not everyone knows that.
Yeah.
So
Sorry if you didn't
South
get it.
Asians, India, Pakistan represent. But yeah, no, it's tough. It's definitely tough. Right now, I feel like especially now and then probably the next generation, it's going to be a lot easier for people as the second generation, third generation, I guess, as immigrants, right? Being able to have that support and knowing that these other career opportunities exist and having like when we're parents and stuff, we'll be able to push our kids, be like, hey, like, you could do that if you want to do it, right? I mean, I don't know how you guys feel about that, but personally,
Yeah.
like, we could start pushing that envelope a little bit.
Yeah, I think as
And
of
breaking
late,
those industries.
I've definitely we've seen an increase
Yeah.
overall with all the representation in all the different fields. It's dope. I think I can definitely see that down the line to like
On that
generation
same
from now.
ESPN article, it was saying how from 2018 to 2021 there was a 30% increase in diversity hires, right? So again, within 3 years, like, I mean, again, it's not like huge, but it's something, right? So
30% is a big number.
yeah.
That's low-key a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, that could also be like 30% at the lower end rather than the higher end too. So you always got to keep it into
Yeah.
account. I mean, it's still good. It's still positive change.
My thing is, I personally love how much Desi support Desis in the media. Like, I don't know if you guys saw, but I saw an article about probably a senior point guard. He just committed to Stanford. He's an Indian kid. The love that this dude.
Desi! Oh, Desi! Dude, that's literally what that's what I would say. Literally, anytime I see a Desi.
What was that? Hold on, rewind. Hold on.
Every time I see a Desi on
Pause.
TV, every time I see a Desi on TV, even look, movie, show, whatever it is, like let's say we're watching a white
movie.
movie or whatever. It's
Just
like, oh,
love 'em, bro.
Desi! No, like,
Yeah,
well, like you just gotta acknowledge it, bro. You
And
gotta
that's
say
why
it
I
out
think
loud.
it's even more important, right? Like, we love to prop up our own, but like, I remember having a convo with you about, you're like, dude, how sorry is it that the biggest celebrity that they see people have is Hassan Minhaj? And I was like, oh, he's pretty good. And you're like,
Honestly,
that's
you know
so
what's somewhat
sorry.
Yeah, I
underrated,
agree, 100%.
but like is
I'ma
Amir
stand by
Khan,
that
bro.
statement.
Amir Khan, dude. You guys forgot about Amir Khan, the boxer.
Oh yeah. Amir Khan is what he
Amir
goes by.
Khan, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was huge, dude. I remember when
Everyone
he first
loved him because
started.
he's Pakistani.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! But my dad, like, my
Pakistani.
dad, hey, you hear about Amir Khan? Oh, Amir Khan, they got him. He's like,
Lightning
I was
fast.
like, yeah. I was like, bro. First of all, he's UK, so I mean, I
Yeah.
guess he's like, but still, like, it's like, damn, we got a Desi out there, Pakistani, Muslim,
Yeah.
like, it was nice.
Yeah, so I wanna roll back because I think you brought up a good conversation about generations, right? Like, if you change the generation you're in, if you look back to like our parents' times, and you said, "Oh, I want to be in sports media," I don't know how far you're getting with that conversation. I mean, I feel like the four of us could probably push the envelope just a little bit, enough to say like, "Hey, this is something I'm considering."
Right now, the Moors in media. I know that.
Yeah, I'm doing my own thing, man. I'm just.
No, but I mean, like, we're all in conventional things like
Yeah.
tech, business, but like, you actually push the envelope. You're like, hey, this opportunity, I want to go for it.
right.
And you're doing so. Like, what made you want to choose that, or like, just be safe choosing that over like something conventional?
I just went with something I was interested in. Like I had to do that, and I started accounting, or I tried that. It wasn't really something I was into, and then I tried pushing the envelope, and I got to where I wanted. My parents were like, just do whatever you want at this point, and then just inshallah, I trust the process. So that's how I'm doing what I'm doing.
I have a very funny story about this actually. This relates to this perfectly. So I was with
I just saw your eyes light up.
scared.
and
I
knew
really just thought about this. I was like, man, this is genius. So, or like not genius. It's kind of sad.
Golden.
But yeah, golden. That's the word. But yeah, so basically, my uncle was with his dad, and I was in the car with them. We were going somewhere. I think we were like at Janaza or something, right? But then we were talking, right? So at this time, it was like right after like Timur had graduated. So my uncle asked him, he's like, oh, is Timur like looking for a job and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah, he is, but it's hard with COVID and like and then he's like, oh, what did he do? He's like, oh, he did marketing. And then he was like, oh, why would he do that? Like what kind of job is he gonna get in that? And he was like, oh, I don't know, like something like I don't know along the lines of like whatever, like there's different opportunities, right? But he was just like, he's like, oh, our people don't do that. This is what my uncle directly. He's like, our people don't do that. Like we, for us, we do the more conventional. He's straight. This is literally coming from an uncle, right? He's like, we do the, they gotta go into business. They have to go into the medical field. And I was like, man, bro, I'm literally sitting there. I was like, dude, hey, you're about to just disrespect this guy like that, bro. Like, yeah, he's like he'll find a way. Like, inshallah, you just have to make dua, bro. Like at the end of the day, so you can't.
I'm telling you,
Low kya kenge, bro.
It's
Huh?
stigma.
Low kya
bro.
kenge.
Exactly, low
me-
gang, and then it's like, oh, it's like saying like, hey, that's the reason why he's not getting a job because right now
went into that field,
it's
he
good.
went
He
into
went to
this,
that
yeah.
field. If he went into this, then he would have no problem
I'm
because you see all these other
telling
people
I'm
that are
telling
doing
you right now, if there were, say like there weren't a ton of brown docs, but there was a ton of brown people in marketing, we would all be sitting here like, mashallah, it's more great job, great
Yeah.
choice.
Right.
It's saddening because it's because you don't see people like that, right? If you saw a ton of people doing what Timur did, you'd be sitting there like, yeah, good, like he made a safe choice. But it's not safe because we haven't like walked down that road yet. I feel like that's what I'm saying. Like in the next generations, we'll have more people that have done this, and you'll be like, yeah, this is cool, it's all good, we can do that.
I mean, I think also just like a big part in like, I guess, job market saturation as far as like income disparity.
These are the big
Right.
words now, right here. Saturation.
No, okay, so like for example, right, business, right?
Yeah.
You could make six figures a lot easier in business than you can in media. In media, you need to be really good in order to make it and break that threshold, but the gap is way more. Like you go 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures really easily if you're really good at it.
Yep.
Whereas in business, like a lot of people can make 6 figures, but there's like a it's really saturated, right? It's like a safe,
Yeah.
like there's a lot of people have done it. There's a lot of room for it, but there's like a ceiling.
Yeah.
In media, there's not much of a ceiling. It's just more. It's a lot more about
I
talent.
just feel
It's
like
more
the
about
floor is
talent.
lower.
It's
is the
it's a
point,
lower
right?
floor.
It's a low
yeah.
flow, low
Exactly.
floor, high ceiling.
Exactly.
But I think it's the
So
same.
it's like a
way-
risk.
But
It's a
the
risk.
same with like if you're throwing darts, eventually one's gonna hit, right? And when one hits, you're gonna feel a little more confident. You're gonna feel like it's gonna happen. Yeah, I think it's because we don't have those. I feel like
You don't
if
have those hits. We're all missing.
No, we're not even throwing them. First off,
Yeah.
forget
Then the
missing
ones
it.
that are being
The
thrown, we're
ones that
getting a
are
few
throwing,
here and there. Yeah.
no, the ones that are thrown, you don't see them. I'm telling you, I feel like if we had seen more brown people do different things, you'd have that representation, and you'd have somebody to look up to, right? That's the whole point, that you'd have that role model, right? I don't know. I'm sure. I feel like you could low-key see it with like this community with their little brown boy rappers. Because I feel like you saw one person do it. Now we've seen a couple of guys that are like just these SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah, I see them.
And people clown them, bro. People be clowning like SoundCloud rappers and high school people in high school that
do
are
you
rapping,
think-
right? Because there's such a big gap to making it, right? And the same thing with media, same thing with making it to a league if
Yeah.
you're a sports player. I guess it starts with us not like clowning those
Clowning
people,
them.
right? Like just
Even
for
like
taking
you
some
could even
going
speak on the whole gaming thing.
Yeah, exactly. For
Like-
me, it was like I wanted to be a professional gamer. I want to do this and that, but then like came to a point where like, what's realistic, right?
Yeah, but you're
Like-
profiting off of gaming though. So like,
Like, what were the chances of me making that big and sustaining that over a career
Yeah.
versus having a
Yeah.
safe paying job? And those are like
Yeah.
decisions you need to sit down and like write everything down and be
Dude.
like, okay, do I want to do this? And how much effort it's going to take? What's going to be a toll on my relationship? What's going to be a toll on my family?
Can we come
It's
back to
a
the
lot of
idea of
different things.
safety though? I think that's a big one too for on that topic of role models and representation. It's because we're so safe with everything. Like, I'm looking at
facts.
you and me, and we have the most vanilla careers in this
I
table
know,
right now. It's
literally.
safety.
Providing for family,
Yeah,
provide
it's
like
a- it's
what
a
is going to put
safety
food on the
thing.
table, right?
Yeah.
What's a guaranteed dart hit that's going to hit the board?
Yeah.
Forget about hitting the middle. What's going to hit the board, right?
Yeah. I guess overarching, coming back, like, do you guys feel like we're having this conversation? I know I feel this type of way about it. Do you feel like you need those role models in those areas, or do you think it's just naturally going to happen over time? Do we need to push the envelope a little more? Like, what's the deal on that? Because any conversation we've had, right, even when we started this, the whole idea was we wanted you to learn from our experiences to, I guess, quote unquote, kind of be role models. I think you need those, but do we have those? Should we have those? Because I feel like right now, if I can think of like people that are doing well off themselves that are Desi, dude, I'm thinking of like random TikTok people. Like, I'm not thinking of people that you'd want to look up to. And you and I had a conversation like, yeah, you can look up to those people. But like, would you want to look up to those people like Islamically too? Like, that's a huge aspect of it too, right? Like, there's
Values,
so,
just values in
yeah,
general.
there's a lot
Like,
to
yeah.
it.
just because someone looks like you that made it, do they still share the same values? Because with fame comes a lot of different things too. People change. People are different.
So
So I
what's
mean,
your take on that? Like, are we gonna have to sacrifice values for role models? Or is it, what's
I mean that's like a whole. I mean, I guess going to the first part of your question, I think role models are extremely important.
Yeah.
I think with anything.
Mhm.
I guess for me personally, in my career, like I looked at a role model and they helped me and they guided me to where I was able to get a job and stuff and do all that and kind of break into the industry. I think that's important in any industry you're in, anything you're doing, to have someone to look up to, have a mentor, something like
Yeah.
that. And especially if they can relate to you, relate to your values, relate to your morals, then that helps a lot. You know?
Yeah, I mean it helps, but like at the same time, you could go a different route, which is an example for me, where like my cousin was my role model, but my cousin was also an accountant. My cousin had also gone to DePaul.
Yo,
My
when
cousin
we-
was the
when we
role
went to
model,
your-
as
no,
in
no,
like
no,
the
hold
person
on,
who
hold on.
I looked
When
up
we
to,
went
and I
your
did
wedding-
exactly what he did.
When we went to your wedding, I
The
swear,
whole table,
everyone
right?
said, "Oh, I'm an accountant. I'm an accountant." I'm like, bro, Mas just
Who
copy
isn't an
paste.
accountant?
Yeah, bro.
Literally.
So
yeah.
I think. Any thoughts on that?
I completely forgot the question. I personally actually
What a
don't.
guy, bro.
I
Role
don't
models, role
have
models.
any role models in my industry currently. Like it's actually that I know his family and stuff like that. Me and Zephyr will have to talk after this, but I have his address too. I'm pull up. But
He name dropped them too on the pod.
he knows who he is. But yeah, I think it's super important as to what Jamal was saying. Like we never had that type of representation in the industry. As kids, you're watching. As a kid, all you do is just play around, watch television. You're looking at the TV and you're like thinking to yourself, like, why does no one look like me? Like everyone has. As kids, it was just I don't know. You needed someone to look up to, and we just never really had that. And yeah.
I mean, like, for example, right, like DePaul. We all went to DePaul. We have all these clubs that are made, like business clubs, tech clubs, sports clubs that you could join. And there's people that have, like, made it and they could talk you through it. They'll guide you. They'll bring people in to talk about it. What do you have for that for media? Like, who are they going to bring in? What clubs do they have?
They don't market out
They
of
don't.
DePaul.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I
They
mean,
don't
they have
market
they have a sports marketing program.
No, they do.
They do.
Yeah,
but, like,
But those like
what's the career
it's what
path?
you
What's
think it
the
looks like.
ladder? Like, how do you break into the industry? We don't have that. Like, how do you
Yeah.
break in?
That's something they don't recruit out of DePaul. Like those whatever media
Yeah,
companies, ESPN,
different-
no,
different
they're not coming
conversation
to
there.
DePaul to hire like to get you. Like
Who do
they're
they
gonna-
recruit out? I don't think they even recruit out like that.
I mean,
People start as journalists, then they make
But
it
yeah,
in the media. It's
but
the
yeah,
thing- that's
that's
usually
true.
how it is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say ESPN
From what I've
recruits.
seen.
I wouldn't say ESPN recruits. ESPN's more of an applied based thing.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I'm saying I think this is kind of hypocritical to say with us right now. I think we got to push the envelope. No, I can't say that with two guys sitting here working in accounting and Jamal in
Just say
tech.
tech. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think you're doing your end of the bargain.
Yeah.
thank you,
Thanks. You're
thank you,
welcome.
thank you, Tamor.
Yeah,
We
all
need
four
more
of
people
us
like
can
you,
be-
honestly. Less of us, more
Y'all-
of you.
y'all-
Yeah, I
hypocrites.
think when we can sacrifice, and I think it's a huge sacrifice, right? You're asking a lot out of people. When you can sacrifice and go for something that you enjoy, I think you're pushing the envelope far enough for other people that are gonna grow up, see you, and say, "Hey, like I can do that too." I'm telling you, man. There's definitely some random kid listening to Adam Amin on Sunday saying, "I can do that too."
Yeah.
I don't know where he is, but there's definitely a kid.
No, definitely, 100%. I agree.
And that's for you too.
I mean, the more the better. That's literally all I can really add.
I'm
to it.
sure
The
there's
more
so many
people,
more
the
perspectives to this convo too. Like, if you guys are watching, leave a comment. Let us know like what's your thought on it. Like, has anyone else broken into media, or just I guess just in general,
Yeah.
what do you guys think about role models and Desi representation?
Or is it
in the
overstated?
media?
Do you not need it, and you
Right.
just have a role model of any
Right.
background? Like, are
Right.
we overstating it? Are we making it a problem that's not existent? I don't know. Let me know. All right, but on that note, guys, thank you, Derek, Swaggy, and Alonzo.
Yes,
I
sir.
think we had a good
Swaggy.
I think we had a good combo here.
Thanks,
Alonzo.
Cam.
Oh yeah,
Hey, Cam.
Cam.
You're
Um,
unemployed currently, Cam.
I
but
am
it's
unemployed
okay.
right
Hey,
about
I
now,
am-
but
I'm
you know what?
retired.
It's all good.
You, yeah.
You
I
don't
got
exist.
bad-
You don't
I got-
exist.
you don't
boy.
exist.
I got bad knees, but
This is Sammy
Don't get
Watkins
through
right
it.
here.
Yeah, but you
Is
know,
Sammy Watkins 14?
he is
Yes, he
14.
is.
Sammy Watkins.
With that said, though, thank you guys for listening. For sure, drop a comment down below. We want to hear your thoughts and your perspectives on it. But with that said, we'll see you guys next time.
Salam.
Salams.